The Tipping Point: Crises and Conflicts in a Changing World. Author's note: as we stand on the precipice of change, it is vital to recognize the interconnected crises and conflicts that shape our world. This narrative invites you into a journey through these tumultuous times, exploring the shifting power dynamics, economic upheavals, and the rise of non-state actors. Each chapter tells a story reflecting the complex interplay of global forces and the human experience within them. Chapter 1: The Shifting Tides of Power. In a bustling coffee shop in Washington, D.C., two friends, Maya and Daniel, met to discuss the changing landscape of global politics. Maya, an international relations student, had been fascinated by the rise of China and the shifting balance of power. "Did you read the latest report on China's Belt and Road Initiative?" Maya asked, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "It's not just about infrastructure. It's a game changer for global influence." Daniel, a political analyst, nodded thoughtfully. "It's true. China is positioning itself as a leader on the global stage, and we need to understand the implications. But what about India? They're rising too, and their relationship with the West is changing the dynamics." As they discussed their observations, the world outside reflected the tension and uncertainty of this shifting power landscape. In the distance, a new era was dawning, one marked by the emergence of multiple power centers. Chapter 2: Economic Realignments. As the weeks passed, Maya attended a lecture on global economics, where she encountered Professor Thompson, a leading expert in trade relations. Eager to understand the impact of current events, she approached him after class. "Professor, what do you think about the trade wars? Are we witnessing the end of the Bretton Woods system?" she inquired. Professor Thompson sighed. "We are indeed seeing cracks in the foundation." The trade conflicts between the U.S. and China illustrate a deeper struggle. Economies are interlinked, but national interests often clash. Maya absorbed his words, realizing that the implications extended beyond the classroom. The following days brought headlines of tariffs and sanctions, impacting industries and workers across borders. She felt the urgency of the moment, recognizing that the world was not just experiencing economic turmoil, it was on the brink of a new economic order. Chapter 3: The Military Landscape. A few months later, Maya was invited to a defense conference in Brussels. Among the attendees were military leaders, analysts, and diplomats discussing the future of warfare. Maya found herself captivated by a presentation on the rise of drones and cyber warfare. Colonel Ramirez, a decorated officer, spoke passionately about the evolution of military strategy. "We are no longer fighting conventional wars. Asymmetrical warfare is the new reality. We must adapt or risk being left behind." Maya's mind raced as she connected the dots between technological advancements and global security. She began to understand that military power was not solely about numbers and tanks. It was about innovation and strategy. Later that evening, she met an old friend, Amir, who served as a diplomat. They reminisced over drinks, and Maya probed him about the importance of alliances like NATO. "NATO has had to evolve," Amir replied. "The threats we face now are more complex. It's not just about military might, it's about diplomacy and cooperation." Their conversation deepened Maya's understanding of the fragile balance between power and diplomacy, emphasizing that the future of global security depended on collaborative efforts among nations. Chapter 4: Non-state Actors and Global Influence. As Maya delved deeper into her research, she became increasingly aware of the influence of non-state actors. One evening, while attending a seminar on humanitarian efforts, she met Sarah, an NGO worker dedicated to human rights advocacy. "Non-state actors play a crucial role in shaping our world," Sarah explained. "Organizations like ours can mobilize resources and raise awareness about issues often overlooked by governments." Intrigued, Maya followed Sarah to a community event where they discussed the plight of refugees. The stories she heard were heart-wrenching, illustrating the impact of conflict on human lives. Maya realized that power was not solely held by nations, it was also wielded by those who fought for justice and change. However, during her research, Maya stumbled upon unsettling news about terrorist organizations exploiting political instability. A sense of urgency filled her as she recognized the complexities of this global landscape. The narrative of power was no longer black and white, it was woven with shades of gray. Chapter 5: Environmental Challenges and Global Responses. One sunny afternoon, Maya participated in a climate change rally in her city. Surrounded by passionate activists, she felt a sense of hope amid the challenges. Among the speakers was Dr. Chen, a renowned climate scientist who spoke about the urgency of action. Climate change is not just an environmental issue, it's a matter of survival, Dr. Chen urged the crowd. We must hold our leaders accountable to address this crisis. Maya was inspired by the collective efforts of individuals fighting for a sustainable future. The rally sparked conversations about the intersection of environmental and social justice, prompting her to think critically about the role of nations in combating climate change. As the world grappled with rising sea levels and extreme weather events, Maya realized that the fight for a sustainable Maya's journey brought her to a workshop on conflict resolution, where she encountered Dr. Hassan, a psychologist specializing in trauma and peace building. The room was filled with participants eager to understand the psychological dimensions of conflict. Understanding the human psyche is essential in resolving conflicts, Dr. Hassan emphasized. Historical grievances and collective trauma can fuel animosity and hinder reconciliation. Intrigued, Maya listened as Dr. Hassan shared case studies of post-conflict societies. He spoke of Rwanda, where the aftermath of genocide required deep healing and understanding. Reconciliation is not just about justice, it's about addressing the wounds that bind us, he explained. As they engaged in discussions and role-playing exercises, Maya began to grasp the profound impact of trauma on societal dynamics. She realized that resolving conflicts was not merely a political endeavor, it required empathy, dialogue, and a commitment to healing. After the workshop, Maya felt compelled to explore this further. She reached out to Dr. Hassan for guidance on her research. Together, they delved into the psychological underpinnings of conflict, examining how historical narratives shaped national identities and influenced behaviors. Chapter 7: A New Understanding. With her research taking shape, Maya decided to write an article synthesizing her findings. She connected the dots between the shifting power dynamics, economic upheavals, military strategies, non-state actors, environmental challenges, and psychological dimensions of conflict. Her article aimed to provide a holistic perspective on the interconnected crises facing the world. She submitted it to a prominent journal, hoping to contribute to the ongoing discourse on global affairs. When she received word that her article was accepted for publication, Maya felt a surge of excitement. This was her opportunity to reach a wider audience and inspire change. The article resonated with many, sparking discussions and debates within academic circles and beyond. Inspired by the response, Maya organized a panel discussion featuring experts from various fields. The event attracted a diverse audience, and the conversations that unfolded illuminated the complexities of global issues. Attendees shared personal stories and insights, fostering a sense of community and shared purpose. Chapter 8: Navigating the Future. Months passed, and as Maya continued her work, she received an invitation to speak at an international conference on global governance. Standing before an audience of diplomats, scholars, and activists, she shared her insights on the importance of collaboration and understanding in navigating the challenges ahead. Today, we face crises that demand our collective action, Maya asserted. Whether it's economic upheaval, environmental degradation, or the rise of non-state actors, we must recognize our interconnectedness and work together to create a sustainable future. Her speech was met with enthusiasm, and she was encouraged by the willingness of others to engage in meaningful dialogue. Networking at the conference, Maya forged connections with individuals from around the world, all united by a shared commitment to addressing global challenges. As the event concluded, Maya reflected on her journey. She had started as a curious student, driven by a desire to understand the complexities of international relations. Now, she was emerging as a thought leader, advocating for a more just and equitable world. Chapter 9: The Power of Action. Maya's passion led her to co-found an organization dedicated to fostering dialogue and collaboration among youth leaders globally. Together, they organized workshops, facilitated cross-cultural exchanges, and initiated grassroots projects aimed at addressing pressing social issues. The organization quickly gained momentum, attracting young activists from diverse backgrounds. They collaborated on projects ranging from climate action campaigns to conflict resolution initiatives in war-torn regions. Maya felt invigorated by the energy and commitment of her peers, realizing that the next generation held the keys to a brighter future. One project involved partnering with communities affected by climate change, empowering them to advocate for sustainable practices and policy changes. Through storytelling, art, and activism, these communities shared their experiences and urged decision-makers to prioritize environmental justice. Maya traveled to different countries, witnessing firsthand the resilience and determination of individuals fighting for their rights. Each encounter fueled her belief that change was possible when people came together for a common cause. Chapter 10: A Turning Point. As her organization grew, Maya received news of a major international summit addressing climate change and global security. Leaders from around the world were gathering to discuss collaborative solutions. Inspired, she and her team prepared a proposal advocating for youth involvement in decision-making processes. At the summit, Maya presented their vision passionately, emphasizing the importance of including marginalized voices in shaping policies that would affect their futures. The audience was captivated, and her proposal resonated with many. To her astonishment, Maya's efforts resulted in the establishment of a youth advisory council at the summit. This milestone represented a significant shift in how leaders engaged with the next generation, acknowledging their role as agents of change. Chapter 11: The Ripple Effect. As months turned into years, Maya's organization continued to thrive. The Youth Advisory Council gained traction, inspiring similar initiatives worldwide. Young leaders began to take their places at the table, advocating for issues ranging from climate justice to social equity. The ripple effect of Maya's work became evident in various communities. The grassroots projects initiated by her organization empowered individuals to advocate for their rights and demand accountability from their governments. This grassroots activism sparked a wave of change, creating a collective movement toward a more just and equitable world. Maya received recognition for her contributions, but she remained grounded, knowing that the journey was far from over. She recognized that the world still faced significant challenges, but she also believed in the power of collective action and resilience. Chapter 12: A Vision for the Future. Years later, Maya stood on a stage at a global summit, addressing an audience filled with leaders, activists, and change-makers. She spoke about the lessons learned from her journey and the importance of collaboration in navigating the complexities of the modern world. "We are at a tipping point," Maya declared, her voice filled with conviction. "The crises we face are interconnected, and it is our responsibility to address them with urgency and compassion. Together, we can forge a new path, one that prioritizes justice, sustainability, and understanding." The audience erupted in applause, and Maya felt a profound sense of hope. She had witnessed the power of individuals coming together to effect change. As she looked out at the diverse faces in the crowd, she knew that the future was bright. Maya's journey had begun with a simple curiosity about global affairs, but it had evolved into a lifelong commitment to fostering understanding and collaboration. She understood that the challenges ahead were daunting, but she also knew that the strength of humanity lay in its ability to unite in the face of adversity. Epilogue. In the years that followed, Maya continued her work, traveling the world and inspiring countless others to engage in the fight for justice and sustainability. The connections she had forged remained strong, and the movement she had helped create continued to grow. The lessons learned throughout her journey echoed in her heart: that change is possible when individuals come together, that empathy and understanding are essential in resolving conflicts, and that the future belongs to those who dare to dream and act. As Maya reflected on her experiences, she understood that while crises and conflicts would always be part of the human experience, the power to shape a better world lay within each of us. The story of her journey was not just her own. It was a testament to the resilience of humanity and the unyielding spirit of those who strive for a brighter future. This narrative serves as a reflection of our world today, a world filled with challenges and opportunities for change. As you turn the pages, may you be inspired to consider your own role in shaping the future and the impact you can have on the world around you.